Hey, I'm Scott from Fender Play, a step-by-step online guitar learning platform. Everyone can play guitar, and we want to show you how. I'm going to give you another free look at the type of lessons you'll get when you join. Last week, we practiced the G, C, and A minor chords, and in this lesson, we'll add the F chord. Now, don't worry about playing F. We'll show you a great way to nail what we call little f, especially when the full F chord is too much of a stretch. Working in the key of C, these 4 chords allow you to play tons of songs because they work so well together. If you missed any of our free lessons on how to play these chords, click this link to check them out. Remember, this is only one of the hundreds of lessons you get access to when you subscribe to Fender Play, so enjoy this free taste.
The F chord is a bar chord, which is pretty challenging at first, so be patient if you're new to this. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to play an F chord. Let's start with a 3-string version. Your index finger is going to flatten out across 2 strings, 1st fret of the high E, 1st string, and 1st fret of the B string, 2nd string. First thing, let's make sure that you can do that. So, flattening out across 2 strings. This is kind of your first journey into playing bar chords. If you're able to do this, the next thing you want to do is add your middle finger or 2nd finger to the 2nd fret of the G string. The challenge here is that you have a flat index finger and an arched middle finger. If you get it right, it'll sound like this. So this is a 3-string version. Let's build to that again. Go ahead and pick your fingers up. Your index finger flattens out across the 1st fret of the B string and the high E string. Now it's really important that you're right up against the back side of the 1st fret. The closer you are to the nut of the guitar, the harder you have to press down to get the note to sound. So get it right there, as close as possible. Then add your middle finger to the 3rd fret of the G string. Let's drill that one more time. So 1st finger, 2 strings, 1st fret. Right? Make sure those sound. And now add your 2nd finger to the 2nd fret of the G string. Here's a good tip. You may find that you want to play with your index finger flat across like this. You've got a little more flesh on your index finger here. It's better actually to play on the side of the index finger, the side closest to your thumb. So a way to get used to that is if you can exaggerate tucking your elbow into your gut. That'll get you on a harder side of the finger where it feels it's a bonier side of the finger. Okay, so once you got that, you'll also find it's easier to arch your middle finger. Okay, so to do the 4-string version, it's just about adding your ring finger to the 3rd fret of the D string, like this. And again, it's very common for you to get this kind of a sound at first. Especially now you've got 1 flat finger and 2 arched fingers. So be patient, keep building the chord as much as you can, and eventually your index finger will start to behave a little better. So let's practice that. Pick your fingers up. Let's bar the 1st finger across 2 strings, add the 2nd finger to the 2nd fret of the G string, and your ring finger to the 3rd fret of the D string. Do your best, 4 strings.
Let's look at this chord from a different angle.
Bar the index finger across the first 2 strings, 1st fret, middle finger, 2nd fret of the G, and ring finger, 2nd fret of the D string. Pick your fingers up, and let's do that again. Index finger, 2 strings, middle finger, 2nd fret of the G, and ring finger, 3rd fret of the D string. We're going to do this 2 more times, but if you find that you're feeling any kind of pain or discomfort in your wrist or between your index finger and thumb, take a break, take a break. You don't need to overdo these bar chords. But let's try it 2 more times if you feel up for it. So index finger, 1st fret of the first 2 strings, flattened out, arched middle finger, 2nd fret of the G, and arched ring finger, 3rd fret of the D string. Let's pick your fingers up and let's do that 1 more time. 1st finger, 2 strings, 1st fret. Middle finger, 2nd fret of the G, and ring finger, 3rd fret of the D. Let's move on to the full bar version of the F chord. This will take some patience, And remember, it's easier to play this on an electric guitar than an acoustic guitar, so it might take a little bit of extra work on the acoustic guitar. The full version looks like this. And you'll notice now my index finger is covering all 6 strings. So let's start here and let's just talk about how to bar your index finger across all 6. Ideally, you could actually sound all of them, but it's really not necessary because you're going to have 3 fingers in front of your index fingers on 3 different strings. So let's talk about this full bar. Index fingers, once again, not covering flat across, but it's more on the side. So again, tucking your elbow into the gut is a good way to exaggerate that movement so that you play on the side. And you'll notice that my index finger is not exactly straight. It kind of makes a C shape on the side here before I add the other fingers. So just get used to that. And a good thumb position is really important because your thumb is going to be pinching behind a little bit for you to be able to get those notes to sound. Okay? So once you're there, and you'll also notice that my index finger is a little above the neck there, and that's okay. So let's add the other fingers as best we can. So your ring finger now is going to go to the 3rd fret of the A string. Your pinky will go to the 3rd fret of the D string, 4th string, and my middle finger goes to the 2nd fret of the G string. And you get to strum all 6. Here are the notes. It'll take some practice to get all of those notes to ring out clearly, because most commonly what happens if your index finger isn't barring, particularly on the part of the finger that's closest to the hand, you'll get this sound. You might mute the first 2 strings, and that's okay. This will come over the course of time. So let's walk through that again. First off, your index finger capos or bars the 1st fret, all 6 strings. Add your ring finger to the 3rd fret of the A string. Add your pinky to the 3rd fret of the D string, and your middle finger to the 2nd fret of the G string. As you get used to the bar chord, you're going to notice that here again, your hand can get tired very easily. So it's important to develop a little bit of tension and release. Right now, we're just learning the shape, but as you get used to playing bar chords, you'll notice that you'll fret the chord, and then you can release the tension and get that, so that your hand doesn't tire out too quickly. So let's practice that chord several times. Pick up your fingers, bar your index finger across the 1st fret, ring finger, 3rd fret of the A string, pinky, 3rd fret of the D, and your middle finger, 2nd fret of the G string, all 6 strings. Pick your hand up. So index finger, bars across, all 6 strings, ring finger, 3rd fret of the A string, pinky, 3rd fret of the D string, and your middle finger, 2nd fret of the G string. Pick your fingers up. Let's do it again. Bar all 6, ring finger, 3rd fret of the A, pinky, 3rd fret of the D, and middle finger, 2nd fret of the G string. And let's do that 2 more times. If your hand is tired, take a break. Index finger across all 6, ring finger, 3rd fret of the A string, pinky, 3rd fret of the D string, and middle finger, 2nd fret of the G. And one last time, pick your fingers up, bar across, ring finger, 3rd fret of the A, pinky, 3rd fret of the D, and middle finger, 2nd fret of the G string.
Lots of great info in there, right? Now that you know the G, C, A minor, and F chords, check back next week as we show you what combinations help you to play songs with these chords. Whether you're a beginner who's played for a while, or you've never even played before, we can get you set up with what you need to start playing fast. Click this link to begin your free trial of Fender Play. And remember, anyone can play.